Hey yo, how's it going, boys? What is up? So it's back once again for yet another Suptix video. I did not do the last time around because I was a Warframe gamer at that time, so that's why we didn't talk about Suptix last time around. But we are back. We're back for another Suptix video. Yay! So Guild War is 4 days away, right? Yeah. 4 days away, so we are very close to Guild War. So for those who want to do like some last minute purchase, if you are willing to let go, how much is it? Is it 25, 30 USD for this? Yeah. So if you're planning to let go some of your money in order for you to get a little bit better in Guild War, I guess I'll try my best to do some well, let you guys know which is the better one. But for now, I'm not going to talk about the characters I missed because that's just way too far off already. But we're going to refer to the new ones that got added in this particular banner, which is, I like how like 66% of the the new characters that got added into this banner is already shown here. So the new characters that got added in this banner is Rogazzo, which is the guy on the bench, and the Meg and Mary and Paris. Siegfried, Catherine, and the rest is not included because it was shown here as well, as you can see here. The text already mentioned. So there's only 3 new characters, and I don't think there's any new summons. I think, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any new summons. GameWave doesn't show it either. So yeah. So to put it simply, I think I can just summarize like how good this tree is character without even going too deep into it. So let me briefly mention, I guess. So for Rogazzo, he's kind of like the he's kind of like the guy that you can get evokers up relatively quick, or you can somewhat use him as like the pseudo very budget based burst kind of guy. Where the hell is he? Where there he is. Okay, so like he has like the double strike thing. He has like a lot of nukes thingy. Yeah, then he has that stupid buff thingy. But like he basically has like a little bit of like a burst capable skills. What do I mean by burst is like you take maybe like only 3 turns. That kind of burst. That's what I usually meant by burst. Like you basically kill, like do a lot of damage with very minimal turns. Basically, that's what burst means for especially the newer players, that is. So like this guy is somewhat capable of doing that, but I felt like he can kind of like do it if you really want to for like probably next Guild War even, because the upcoming Guild War is water favorite, which is most likely like 99% is going to be fire favorite, because they usually go through the 4 main elements first before light and dark. So that's why I mentioned that. So fire favorite is probably the next one, so that's why it is somewhat you can consider as well. But outside of that, he can kill himself relatively quick. So I guess if you want to use like Frau mainline frontline very occasionally, I guess he's kind of okay. Meg and Mary is kind of whatever. I think they're like a full auto character kind of thing. By full auto, I mean like they're somewhat okay. Like they can do relatively respectable damage. They can also like be a somewhat like a tank as well at the same time, because you can choose. Meg and Mary is the type of character where you can choose what type of like style you want to go for. You see, their first and second skill basically allows them to change what kind of style you want to play, right? So for this, it's just more like you can get extra like the stats. You get like guaranteed triple. I think that's guaranteed triple if I recall correctly. And then you get like a charge bar booster, recover HP. So this is kind of like some sustain style kind of thing. And then this one gives you like a lot more damage because you can basically auto nuke upon your normal attacks. And then also you get extra debuffs here and there, so it kind of helps you more on like the offensive kind of thing. So this is more like sustain to like utility, self-utility kind of thing, because it doesn't look like you cast to everyone. So yeah, and then you have like, I think you auto cast this or something. Yeah, when any foe has 5 or more debuffs, this cast get casted automatically, so you get extra like nukes or whatever. So Meg and Mary is more like the full auto kind of character, where you just press auto and just you choose basically which type of playstyle you want them to be, and then you just let it run like that without even like controlling it or anything. Paris is, well, we don't talk about him because it's hot garbage. Feels bad, man. Sugita's character, man. I fucking love Sugita, the VA, but man, Paris sucks, dude. He has what? Substitute, normal sub, dodge counter, and random supplemental, dispel, and random echo shit for one time. Actually, hot garbage. I think you should just ignore him. This, okay, so outside of the new character thing, I usually try to cover like what characters that anyone can probably look out for if you do not have yet, or whatever, for the next upcoming Guild War, to at least help you in some way, kind of thing. All right, so because Water Favorite is up next, I would definitely say that is a wise choice to talk about water characters. I'll probably mention a bit of a summons as well, because I think there are some summons I would say is worth mentioning this time around, especially like for Guild War and shit, because there's like new tech and stuff these days that allows you to have better options with summons in particular. So the first one, I guess we'll talk about like EX plus, like Ogi kind of thing. It's kind of like this thing, but not this thing, because this thing sucks. We'll talk about that later. So those ones in particular, the very, very popular pick, I'm fairly certain everyone will pick. Where is she? There she is. Water Zeta, because she is so fucking strong. It's kind of like she's kind of like core. She's one of those core characters. She's really, really strong. Like, you can Ogi really strong with her because she has Unworldly. You can burst relatively well with her as well, because she has Assassin. Assassin, I picked the wrong skill. So Assassin is the one where you can do insane amount of like overcap on your autos. Well, you can technically do it with Ogi as well, or charge attack, whichever you want to call it. I always call it Ogi, so forgive me. They do have overcap on Ogi as well, but at the same time is that the cap is very, very small and is not worth using it on Ogi at all. Okay? So these ones are always better to put it on autos, because on autos the overcap is insanely high, and then it's very, very easy to like stack damage to it. Okay, and then not to mention you also have extra echo. I think this is, fuck, I forgot how much this was. Was it 30%, chat? I don't really remember how much was it. All I know, it's considered significant enough to actually have. That's why she's so strong. She has double strike. She has the assassin thing. She also has the echo thing. Yeah, it's just, and then she has that as well. She has guaranteed triple, right? And she also has this extra bonus water damage effect to water allies whenever you triple attack as well. It's very strong. And then not to mention, you also have extra like critical cap as well if you're actually going towards that direction. Like if your grid has like critical whatever type of grid, she can be relatively strong as well. So like she is really, really good for burst or like OTK as well. So she's kind of like in any of those particular set scenario, if you so desire. She's definitely like the number one pick. I would definitely say if you do not have her, I would definitely suggest you getting her. Like before I even mention anyone else, she's definitely worth it, because right now she's probably like, there's still like a lot of homework that I remember encountering for water that uses her. Okay, and then the the other characters that is really good for EX plus OTK, I would definitely say like Yoda is definitely good as well. I'll just briefly mention like Yoda is definitely good because he can do a lot of like Ogi damage. He can also give you like the extra plane damage as well, so that's fixed damage as well. You don't really have to worry about that. And is also relatively okay as well if you're so desire. She also can help you in full auto if you're also in that regard, and has like the whole defensive, a lot of buffs. She heals here and there as well, so she's pretty good in that regard too. And then where is I think Romeo is kind of okay for OTK as well. Who is the other ones? I think Chad Noir, no. Strom is actually relatively okay as well in the EX plus category. I would definitely even say this one is kind of okay as well. Caterpillar is okay as well. Isaac's decent as well. Oh, Lucia is actually pretty okay as well, especially if you put her in the backline, because when she does an extra nuke based on like how many Ogi you did or some shit. So you basically get a free nuke if you put her in a backline. And then who else? Juliet is okay. Vampy is okay as well for Vampy is actually really nice for OTK stuff as well. I think Juliet is more towards like full auto stuff. Okay, so for like burst stuff, I can definitely assure you that there's only a few things you can a few characters that you can consider. Gwyn is probably like the other character that you want to consider outside of Zeta when it comes to bursts. You know, like say for example, if you're planning to buy the 150 gold moon funny gun or whatever that thing is, if you're planning to buy that, Gwyn is probably really strong for you as well, because like, or even if you even if you're planning to not go for that route as well, Gwyn actually has really good options for like just basically free damage, right? Because she's very similar to like how Relic Buster works. If you don't really know how Relic Buster works, Relic Buster has the option to just freely attack whenever they have like the buff thing, right? Like this one. When MC has that buff, you can just freely just keep attacking and attacking and attacking. So if you go like Kirin or whatever, you can reset that, and then you can go more and more and more. So Gwyn actually has somewhat similar option as that as well. She's basically kind of like a Relic Buster as well, but it's not as OP as MC, I guess, in a way. But like it works somewhat similar because you see you have this as well. She kind of have like that assassin thing, and then she has like the thing where it allows you to just consistently attack. You can also just nuke as well. So you can freely do a lot of damage basically. So it's like for bursts, she's really good for like lower level players as well. She's also really good for high level players as well, because she allows you to overcap very easily with the help of this. And then next one would definitely be Erica. Where's Erica? So Erica is definitely one of the another highly sorted characters. Where the hell is she? Okay. The reason that being is that if you're planning to go for burst as well, doesn't really... Okay, so people usually pick her because of the funny gun as well, the 150 gold moon, but a lot of times I always want to try to like mention this outside of like stupid gold moon stuff. It doesn't really matter if you're planning to go for like something else as well. You can still make use of her. You're just basically able, like what she does basically is that she gives you free nukes like whenever you auto. Like whenever you do auto attacks, like normal attack damage or whatever, whenever you do that, she basically allow you to get free extra damage. It's kind of like the one I mentioned earlier with Lucia. Whenever you Ogi, right, or charge attack, she gives you free nukes. So it's kind of like this. She's kind of like that, but she's on normal attack instead. So whenever you do like basically a lot of autos in a turn, so like say for example you're doing the Relic Buster stuff, like you're trying to min-max like pressing that button just as many times as you can, she can do that. And not only that, she can also allow you to take an attack without using up a turn as well. So it's kind of like she has an extra attack button for your whichever character you're going for. So it's like, say for example, like it works really good for like the MC setup, or even like the new full lumen break, the new style change for Ingwei as well. So that one is also pretty good. You can also do it on that one. And then you can also get extra keen effect or amplify as well. So she kind of gives you a little bit of an extra overcap damage. It's also pretty good on that regard. And then outside of that is the extra nuke that I mentioned, which is you get plain damage, which is I think 900k or something. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're planning to do like a lot of autos, right, that thing can actually stack up quite a bit. So it's something that it should not be taken lightly, you know. That's why Erica is actually still like one of the top picked characters to have when it comes to like all these things. You know, it's also kind of similar like how Hesilia, the evoker full limit break is. If you don't really if you're not really familiar with that, you can just go watch the impressions that I had for Hesilia. So that's why Erica is definitely one of those top pick characters as well. Other than that, I think besides those two is I'm not entirely sure where does Korwa goes to, because Korwa did get added last Suptix, I think, because I didn't really spoke about it. But Water Korwa kind of has that as well in a way. It's like she works very similar to like her summer version, where you get extra overcap. So like she gives you raw damage, so you get water attack up, you get damage cap, right? You get damage cap and you get echo out of it as well. And not only that, she also gives you elemental superiority. What this means is that you take like say, because she's water, right? So take it like if the boss is like say like outside of fire, because water is the advantage for water is towards fire mobs, right? If it's on other elements, say like the boss is earth, right? The boss is earth, you put this buff onto other character, right? That other character will hit the advantage damage, so you get the amplifier you get from like your Seraphic and whatnot. So that only applies to that said character, so you get the extra bonus advantage elemental damage or whatnot. Well, I'm not sure how you really categorize that word. Yeah, so this is basically what this means. That's why it's also really, really strong. But outside of that, I feel like you don't really use like her other skills. Like this is like defensive stuff, which is honestly quite good, I would say, when it comes to like longer fights or whatnot. But I don't think you really need her for that particular role, because I feel like she's just best if you're planning to use for like burst stuff. So this one is kind of like okay to have, but it's not like a must-have. I feel like Water Korwa is just more towards like if you're missing some other characters, and then you can kind of use her for that particular role as like an add-on kind of thing, just to be a little bit better. You know, for those set scenarios, right? If you already have like the other characters, but you're missing like Erica or Zeta or whatever, might as well just go grab those instead of Korwa, you know. Other burst characters, I don't think there's notable ones anymore. Those are the few ones that are really worth mentioning. I mean, you could say that Ingwei technically has that capability, but I don't think it's possible to get his style change right now. For the people who haven't done the event, that one event that allows you to get that style change. So like for those who are not familiar, what that means is that if I go to Ingwei, where is he? Yeah, so like for those who are still not familiar what I meant by his style change, that so this Ingwei has like a full limit break version, but he can change to do two different styles. There's a normal one, and then there's like a new one that makes him like, yeah, he has sword specialty, and the previous one is just fist and gun. So this one is more like the tanky whatever, but this new one, which you can get from like a specific event, which I'm not entirely sure if you're able to get that right now outside of the event, because I'm not sure if that's even in the side story or not. Probably not though. Which allows you to like, you know, you have the attack up, like he makes him very, very offensive. So he has like this thing where you can gain extra triple attack, and then you know you get extra echo, and all the other stuff. You know, you can use your damage skill up to 1 extra time, so you can press this to 1 extra time, so you can press this twice, you can press this twice, so you can, you know, that's the reason why I mentioned earlier, like, this guy kind of works relatively well with Erika as well, because this, if I recall correctly, this style appeared the same time as the Erika's release, right? Because they are like kind of like in the same event, if I recall correctly. So that's why, like, it's pretty nice, right? So if you already have the style and you kind of want to go for this, it's actually not bad as well. He's a relatively decent burst character as well, if you so desire, I guess. But honestly, I think if you do not have like the characters like I mentioned before for burst, I probably would suggest you to go for that instead of this guy, because the previous ones I mentioned are 100% much better than this guy. So it's like, put it this way, if you have the previous characters already that I mentioned, you probably don't need this guy, because you're better off using like the set characters already, and maybe with MC or whatnot, and it'll be a much better time compared to you, okay, let me just grab him, and then if you do not have like Zeta or whatever, then it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? So that's why it's like it's one of those things, right? There's probably like 1 or 2 more I should mention for burst, but I don't really remember because they are not really that significant. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think Julia is kind of okay, but I feel like Julia is more towards like full auto. Kupitan as well. Kupitan is more towards like full auto kind of thing, because like these characters are the ones where they can nuke a lot, they can give you a lot of sustain and like some form of like extra damage and shit. You know, all this kind of stuff, where you can also like basically it's like good for longer fights. It's one of those things, right? So it's not really towards like burst, I feel like. You know what I mean? So for non-burst stuff, for like longer fights, Juliet is okay, Kupitan is okay. I think Water UL is kind of okay as well now. Who else? Yeah, again, Ingwei is fine. Yeah, Silva not so much. Isaac is okay. Oh, Soche is actually really good. Yeah, Soche is actually really good for long fights. For like full auto stuff, she's actually still relatively good until today, because she can heal a lot. She can heal and debuff a lot. It's actually she's still really good until today, I would definitely say. Like full auto, long fights kind of thing, she's still probably really good. Full limit break Izmir is actually not bad as well. Like if you have problems in full auto where you need more damage kind of thing, she's actually not bad as well. Because like when you full limit break her, she has that perk where whenever she ogis, she automatically buffs the entire team. That buff is actually quite significant, I would say. Yeah, so Izmir is quite nice. Anglovale is okay, I guess. I think these days people only use Anglovale for his weapon, because his weapon it's not bad, I guess. For a subtickable character like this, it's actually not bad. Sturm is only for like OTK stuff, like I mentioned earlier, because you only use her for the Ogi stuff. Other than that, normal Lancelot, we don't talk about that. Chat, I mean, you know, honestly speaking, despite him being like the massive meme before, I mean, doesn't he like dispel or some shit? What does he do again? I don't remember. Does he like dispel or some shit? I actually don't remember. Oh yeah, he can dispel. Dude, my guy here can dispel, man. He's actually not bad. But he's obviously still like one of the weaker ones, despite like, you know, and he's not like a full-blown meme as like, you know, the you know, like how he was before, because they already kind of rebalanced him, make him a bit more usable. Erin is okay as well. Erin is okay for long fights as well, because she has like the glaciate thing. You have this thing is quite handy as well, so this is kind of whatever for Guild War, but you know, you get extra crest as well. You know, you get unchallenged as well too at the same time. You get this one as well, you know, why not, right? You get like very, very good debuffs as well at the same time. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. You can get extra healing specs as well. So for like full auto stuff, you can you can also kind of consider her that way if you do not have like a lot of if you actually want to get more sustain, I guess, in some way. So she's kind of okay as well for that regard. Macula not so much. Romeo is actually really good for long fights as well. Romeo is more towards like a nuke debuffer kind of guy, and also he can somewhat tank as well, because his full limit break is not bad too. His full limit break is actually relatively nice, and now's a good time to level those guys because Tales of Akaram, yay! Best time to level characters, log in. Other than that, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Anne already mentioned. Anne is kind of like the healer utility character kind of stuff. If you need that, that's also pretty good. Other than that, I don't think there's much else to mention, I would say. So like the important ones, I definitely would say like you just aim for like either you go for like Gwyn, Erika, you know, Zeta. Those few characters are definitely like the number one, the super top priority pick or whatever. If you haven't gotten those yet, even though you do not have like the set burst setup, I would definitely think that they will still help you in some way. You know what I mean? Because like, especially like Gwyn, right? Even say like you can't really do like the usual guys that does like say 30 seconds, you know, 20 to 30 seconds Nightmare 95 in Guild War or some shit, right? Let's say if you don't have that, but like at least you can still like maybe reduce your time it takes to kill that 95. For example, like usually you take you like 5 minutes or something. Maybe she can help you reduce like another 3 minutes or something. So you take like 2 minutes. That's still like a big improvement, right? So you know, stuff like that. All right, coming back again. I forgot about summons. All right, before we end this, because I kind of did earlier by accident, but I forgot to mention about a summon. So there are particular like a summon that maybe I should probably mention is that if you're planning to go for that set route or whatever, there is one particular strat these days where you use this kind of summons, like Long G, for example. So for those who don't really know, Long G gives you that extra crest whenever you when you have I think you need to max limit break this first in order for you to get that, because these kinds of summons automatically give you like 1 crest or something whenever you put it as a main summon, not sub aura, by the way. And you put it as a main summon or a support, right? It gives you like +1 crest if you have it maxed out. And what Beast means is that it will allow you to have a strat where you can OTK, like 0 button OTK with Mana Diver. Because Mana Diver has a tech where it's more like the tech is basically like, as long as your Mana Diver has a single crest, you will auto nuke every time you auto, right? That's the strength of Mana Diver, because the auto nuke is actually really, really strong. If you have this kind of summon, that strat is actually quite strong too, right? Because I think one or two of my crewmates was actually doing that last Guild War. I'm actually considering to use that because I think I do have Long G maxed out. Yes, I do have Long G maxed out, yeah, so as you can see here, deluge crest to all allies at battle start, so that's the reason why. Okay, so it's one of the things that you can consider. Obviously the other ones is for summons, you just pick the ones that you really need at the current time. Say for example, if you're somewhat ready to convert into primal or whatever, you can either grab Varuna, or if you already have Lucifer, just stick with that. I think that's fine. The other one probably would definitely worth mentioning if you're planning to go for like burst or whatever, having this jellyfish summon or whatever you pronounce this name is actually really good as well, because she's the summon types that gives you echo whenever you cast it. So at 0 stars, right? At 0 stars, right now, at 0, like you just get it. It's at 20% echo for that one particular turn only. Okay, you get 20% echo, but if you max it out, you get 30%. So the only difference is 10%. Can be quite a bit, but honestly, even I would say that 0 stars is definitely somewhat usable, right? And then if you're also in a position where you don't, I feel like these days is one of those days that I feel like you can also consider like not needing the main summon, like primal summon or whatever anymore, because in this day and age, getting like just using like either Bahamut or Lucifer level 250 is probably you get way more out of that, you know, in comparison to just using double primal or whatnot. So in speaking in that sense, right, it's much better for you instead of picking this, right, if you want to go into primal, but if you already have like Baha or Lucifer maxed out or whatever, instead of going for this, I would probably suggest you to grab the dragon instead, because at least that way, right, in some ways you can also use this to get extra bonus damage, because for those who didn't know, you get extra supplemental when you call it, right? And not to mention, you also get like the primal modifier thing if you just put it as a sub summon. It helps you quite a bit. Just having this in your sub summon is pretty helpful. And then not to mention, if you just like, if you want to get extra bonus damage, just call it, right? And if you're planning to go for like that burst stack or whatever, a lot of people uses Yatima for the, you know, the water gun shit, the water gun tech, where they use Yatima and automatically cast these two summon. So you get like that bonus supplemental and the echo at the same time in just one button press, which is very, very handy, you know. So yeah, those are the few things that I probably wanted to mention for the summons at least, you know. Bonito is pretty shit these days. I don't think you want to consider that anymore. Besides that, honestly, I don't think there's much else for me to mention. If you really want to go like in depth on what you need, maybe you can join my Discord and ask for help there, or you can just join in my stream whenever I'm streaming and then ask the question there or something and see if we can help you or not. If not, then well, just don't buy this ticket and just save your money and I don't know, use that money on like Honkai Star Rail or some shit. I don't know if you're that kind of person. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, I guess, whenever I decide to put out a new video. Okay, good night.